Thanks for tuning in to Ramshackle United, where we come for the stories and leave with the feeling that we're not so different at all. If you've ever wondered what a silent book club is all about, we'll find out together today as we chat with Ramshackle's first ever guest, Katie, is it Dehn?
No, it's Dehn.
Dehn, sorry.
That's your
Katie
first test.
Dehn. I should have asked it ahead of time.
That's okay.
All right. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll talk about you if you want to kind of give us your origin story. Go back as far as you like.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, I was talking about how I have a film and video degree from Grand Valley, and that kind of all originated. I grew up in Lake Orion, Michigan, which is just north of where we are right now, about a half hour, and dropped out of honors math program, which gave me an empty hole in my schedule that I randomly filled with a film class because I liked the teacher. And that film class led to me editing my first short video and realizing, hey, I can do this for a living. And I started taking more classes. Lake Orion offers a really good television production workshop class where they recorded all of the morning announcements, which as a freshman, I remember watching them going, I could never do that. And then by my senior year, I was on camera doing that and recording all the short videos that were edited ahead of time to introduce the program. And that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I went to Grand Valley for their film and video production program, graduated from there in 2006 and got my first big girl job. And that's still where I work today. So I've been working for 52 Watt Studios since 2007, where they originally were called the C2 Group, which still exists, but they broke off and do web stuff, and now our video team goes by 52 Watt Studios. And that was all in Grand Rapids. I spent 19 years there, and then thanks to the pandemic, which I can say thank you to, we went completely remote, so I was able to move back to Detroit area in 2021, and have been here ever since.
Oh, cool. Is that where you landed in Berkeley?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So I bought a house in Berkeley in 2021, July of 2021. It'll be 5 years coming up, and it's been great.
Nice. So that first video, what was that first video that you edited that got you pulled into the whole career?
It was a partner project, and we called it Seraphim, which the definition of Seraphim is three winged angel, and we tried to do kind of a Charlie's Angel type thing between the director and I. So I don't really remember the storyline at all. I just remember late nights in the library, which late nights for high school was probably 8 o'clock or something, editing in the library this little video and adding the Pulp Fiction style graphic of the definition of Seraphim, and that was my first video.
Oh, cool. So it was like a short film.
Yes.
Like kind of more of a creative piece.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you done any other short films or kind of creative pieces since?
At Green Valley, we did a lot of narrative film. They actually do a summer film project every year with professional actors, and they bring in a professional director of photography from California. So I worked on The Gospel According to Roy, which was about a man who his mother pretended that he was immaculately conceived, and he didn't find out it wasn't true until he was an adult. So he lived his life as if he was the second coming. And so that was a fun one. But where I work currently, we do mainly corporate marketing videos. So it's a little less flashy, but I really like it. And we do a lot of Christian curriculum for Christian authors, for like churches to do Bible studies based on the author books. So those we can sometimes get a lot more creative. I've done a lot of research, finding archival footage when authors talk about World War II or things like that.
That's cool. Do you have any side projects that you're ever involved in to do kind of jump back into the creative, like short film kind of stuff? Or
I ended up working mainly as a volunteer for the Film and Video Alumni Network at Grand Valley, and I ran that as a president for 5 years, and we did a lot of podcasts actually.
Oh, cool.
So it was kind of connecting alumni with students and helping students transition into the quote unquote real world. So I helped produced several of those podcasts and just spent a lot of time connecting with students. I started a program for female students to connect with mentors in the industry, female mentors that were alumni as well. And that's on its fourth year. They're continuing it after I kind of stepped down. I decided once I moved to Berkeley, I really wanted to do more in-person things. And that being in Grand Rapids, it's like I spend enough time on the computer doing virtual meetings with my team for work. I didn't want to spend another 2 hours every night doing stuff virtually. So that's kind of what led me to the Silent Book Club too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really like the fact that you took something you found out you loved and kind of came full circle and helped other people. Especially females. 'Cause I know it's a male-dominated
it is.
industry,
and a lot of females get discouraged and want to leave because there's not a lot of support. So that's something that we wanted to help curb.
Yeah, my brother actually finished film school in San Diego, at San Diego State, and we both worked in the TV industry out there and film industry, and I could definitely, I saw that definitely every day, and so it's pretty cool. Have you seen it kind of grow over the last 4 years, that program?
Yeah. So since they've been taken over, there's always a little bit of a dip in a participation in it. But I know it's continuing to grow. My vision for it was to include male students as well, just because everybody can use a mentor. So hopefully in the next few years, it'll grow into any gender or none.
Yeah, nice, cool. Well, good luck, and hope everything just blossoms from here.
Yeah.
And you did mention the Silent Book Club, so that was the most interesting part of the little tidbit that you added about yourself. Just the concept. I don't think I've ever heard of a Silent Book Club, so I was like intrigued on what it was, but I didn't want to dig into it and then kind of ruin my surprise moment over hearing it directly from you. So, so I guess just like you had that moment where you edited your first video that kind of brought you into that world, what was the first moment you were like, hey, Silent Book Club?
Right. So I actually didn't begin the Silent Book Club in Berkeley. Our current founder, Layla, she founded it. And we actually had our first meeting at Coffee and Bark. And so that was 2 years ago, probably yesterday. I mean, it was in May. And the idea of a book club always intimidated me. Like the idea of you have to be really smart and be articulate and, read at the same pace and really like the books that other people are picking for you. And that didn't appeal to me. I don't necessarily want to have to prove how smart I am to strangers.
Right.
So the idea of Silent Book Club is you get together, you bring your own book, and you read with strangers, or, eventually you get to know them, but you're reading for an hour in a public place. And in between that, we get together for the first half hour and chat, go around what we're reading, talk about what we're reading. And then at the end, we can either keep reading if we'd like, or talk about what we read, or just give really good book references. And what happened for me was, in 2020, my father passed away, and he actually was a reading teacher most of his career. And so for me, it's a way to connect with my dad, and I wanted to read more. So I set for myself a New Year's resolution to read at least one book a month. And the Silent Book Club really gave me the accountability to do that and a place to do it. And within that first year, I read 20 books. So I was already ahead. And then last year, I've read 80 books, which is way above what I thought I was even capable of. So my goal this year is 100 books. But
wow.
It was great to come to the Silent Book Club because I fell in love with historical fiction, which was somebody recommended one book. And I was just like, okay. And then another book and another book in that genre, and realize that's my genre. Everyone has kind of their different niches. And for me, that was it. So
I actually am a bachelor's in English. So I used to read a lot, and then life took over, and essentially, besides work emails, I barely read now. What tip do you have for somebody who really enjoyed reading at some point in their past life and want to start reading again and get into a good routine of actually doing it?
I think remembering that different genres are for different people. And just because one person said a book was great and you didn't like it, doesn't mean reading's not for you. And so I think for me, finding that genre that just really clicked and then finding other people that like that genre, it just made it way more fun to keep reading. And part of Silent Book Club is it doesn't matter how quickly you read. Like that first meeting, actually the first 3 months, I was reading the same book. And I was like kind of get discouraged hearing other people were reading way faster than me, and I kept having the same book each meeting. But it doesn't matter how slow you read or how quick. It's about the act of reading. And now looking at even reading as a political thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's the banned books, and there's supporting the library and supporting independent bookstores over Amazon. It's like there's so much to reading, but really it's just about you one-on-one engaging in the written word or audiobooks. We're not opposed to audiobooks at Silent Book Club. But yeah, it's just commitment to yourself, really. And that for some of people, this is the only hour a month they have where they don't have somebody nagging them. Like there's young mothers who they just need that hour away, and that's their dedicated reading time, and that's beautiful. And there's other people who are retired, so they're looking for, connection in the community, or like me, work from home, and it's like I need somebody to talk to in person, So, yeah.
Yeah, the work from home thing gets a bit tough.
Yes.
So, fortunately, I have, a dog, a cat, and other people in the house that, sometimes...
I have a dog at home, and that's it. And he's happy when I leave, because he's the opposite of having separation anxiety. He's like, oh, please get out of the house.
He's more like a cat.
Yeah, he really is. I come home and I call for him, and he doesn't come. And people have said, are you the other person? You know how they say your dog has one person they like over the other.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm his only person, and he's still just doesn't care when I come home.
Yeah. So, what are the one of the more memorable books you've read, or something that really kind of landed with you?
Yeah, the book that I would say kind of changed the game for me was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which is historical fiction about World War II, two sisters in occupied France. And the idea of kind of living in that era, what was that like? For one sister was in Paris and one was in the French country area. It's actually going to be, they're filming the movie right now, which I'm very excited, with the Fanning sisters. So they're playing sisters in the movie. But yeah, that book really just made me realize how much fun history could be. And it's not obviously all of these things could have happened, but you don't know for sure. They're not based on real people. But some of the historical fiction I do read is based on real people, which it just feels, I don't know, more important to read books like that. No offense to, our fourth wing readers, which I love that series too, but I love my historical fiction.
Yeah. I back when I was studying, my number one author was Kurt Vonnegut, and he kind of mixed some, because he lived through the whole World War II thing as being in the Army, in the U.S. Army in Europe, and that was always interesting because he kind of wove his personal experiences, which are historical, into the whole narrative of most of his books. Mm-hmm. So that was.
But a little bit more just about Silent Book Club in general, because I'm not sure how much you did look into it. It's actually in 60 plus countries.
Oh, wow.
With over 2,000 chapters. And it was started 10 years ago by two girlfriends that wanted to go and read in a bar. And so it's just kind of that idea of community. Everybody's in especially the last 4 years, is really blown up. So it's getting bigger and bigger. They do retreats around the world now too, which I haven't done any of those yet. I've just hosted a retreat up north. So
yeah, I was eventually going to ask you how big it is, and so it's actually called Silent Book Club.
Yes,
is the organization, and that's 60 countries is quite a bit. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So how did you start? What made you start your first chapter, like your own?
Yeah, so Layla started it here at Coffee and Bark, and I came to the very first meeting. And then within a couple months, it was pretty clear like she needed some help. She was getting her doctorate and had a kid, and she's really good at and passionate about getting people together. But I have kind of the the editor brain, like the more detail oriented. And was able to kind of take it on and add multiple meetings. She originally had one meeting a month. I've added a second, and then now we have this year a third meeting every month.
Oh wow, that's a pretty packed schedule.
Yeah.
So it's good. It seems like it's a good way for people to, even though they're being silent, to get to know each other and kind of have that shared space.
Yeah, I've made some really good friends from it. And yeah, we meet the first Monday of the month at the Berkley Library. That's our newest meeting. And then we meet twice a month, actually in Oak Park, but we'll still call it Berkley.
Yeah.
At Mother Handsome. So.
Oh no, yeah, we were just over there for the first time this weekend. It's a pretty neat place.
I love it.
Yeah. It's not Berkeley, but it's
close.
It's adjacent. It's right there. So, for Silent Book Club, do you have any interesting stories? Like, has anybody in the middle of the silence read some a funny book and just started laughing or something?
Well, just last Wednesday, one of my good friends, she is known as our resident smut reader. So she can normally hold her face pretty good, but she busted out laughing in a certain part. I won't go into details about what she was reading, but one of my other friends was sitting next to her, reading over her shoulder and just being like, "I need that book next." So. But one of the funny things for me, so I'm not married currently. I'm divorced, and I was going on dates, and I had a date with a guy, a couple dates actually over the course of a couple months. So it wasn't very serious. Our third date, we met up at actually Mother Handsome, and he's kind of was letting me know he wasn't interested in me, but could I please join your book club? And so he's been a member for over a year, and we've remained friends. But I think it's so funny, I wasn't for him, but the book club sounded really good.
Yeah. That's cool. Anything else that you could say to anybody listening that would a reason why to join the Silent Book Club? What are some common things that you hear from people in the club on how it's benefited them?
Yeah. One of the core tenets of the Silent Book Club, like the larger organization, is that it's introvert happy hour. So it's for people who aren't necessarily the extrovert that wants to do a lot of the talking like most book clubs are. So it gives you that hour of silence to kind of be by yourself with your book, but still in public. And that, especially nowadays with, like you said, working virtually, you just need that human contact. Yeah. And we need community more than ever with everything. So it's just a really good excuse to get out. And it's such a low lift for people. You just need to bring your book, your Kindle, your audiobook. That's it. And just show up.
Yeah. That's cool. 'Cause that kind of fits exactly kind of why we're doing this podcast, to find that common thread between people and bring them together from different backgrounds and different places. People have moved, people collide with each other during life and move on somewhere else. So just being able to connect with people, especially now everything's on the internet, so the connections they feel fake.
Right.
So just being in person and being able to even sit down here with you is just really cool. I'm really enjoying this. So.
Well, and the great thing, I think, Silent Book Club, because it's growing so much, even in Metro Detroit, people aren't aware there's over 24 Silent Book Clubs in Metro Detroit. So this summer, I'm not sure when this is going to air, but starting in June, we're doing a passport program where we actually have printed out passports with all 22 of the participating chapters, where participants can go to each chapter and get a stamp, and then they're entered into a raffle for a huge book giveaway at the end of the summer. So we were just trying to encourage people to attend different chapters around the area, get to find that perfect fit for you, because not every chapter is the same. Not every location feels perfect to you, but you can kind of hop around. We have some brand new chapters that are looking for participants to come and become members. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah. So would you say it's kind of similar vibe? Like we've moved here, and for example, Berkeley has a vibe, Royal Oak has a vibe, Ferndale has a vibe. Birmingham has a vibe. Anywhere you go, Madison Heights
Mexican
has a
town.
vibe. Oak Park, yeah, Corktown. So, do the book club vibes generally kind of fit the neighborhood vibes?
I think it really depends on the host and the vibe that they bring. I would say Berkeley is super welcoming, which is the experience I've had in Berkeley in general. I know every host I've met has been pretty welcoming too. So one of the things I say about readers is they're really empathetic people in general. So I think anywhere you go, it's going to be a good vibe. But you're right. Like each venue is going to have their, culture in that area too. So yeah, there's somewhere out there for everybody.
Cool. Well, we'll definitely have to add any links or details for Silent Book Club to the podcast details. So the goal is to try to get this out pretty quickly in like a matter of a few days. So it's a long weekend, so I have time. So,
okay.
So we have these fancy little cards here if you want to pick one.
Oh, sure.
These are fun. These are a little bit more like serious questions.
What are you feeling? Serious or fun?
These are more fun because they're a little wacky. It's like
okay, so we'll go with wacky.
Yeah.
Oh, we got two options. So which would you choose? Every article of clothing you own is covered in fluorescent polka dots, or every article of clothing you own is made out of spandex. I 100% would rather have polka dots than spandex.
Same, yeah, polka dots.
Just for heat purposes alone, like we're coming into summer, that's the last thing I want against my body.
Yeah, and the unflattering look.
Right.
As me at my age and shape.
Yeah.
Wearing spandex, I'm not we'll go polka dots. So
okay.
All right. Now we can move on to some more personal questions.
Sure, I'm up for whatever.
So, just something unique or funny to share about yourself that you haven't already mentioned.
Well, I mentioned I have a dog, and he's 8 years old as of yesterday. I'm a little bit embarrassed. He's super well socialized, but he doesn't listen to me at all. So it's like at a dog park, I've had to chase him around to like get him to want to come home. As he's gotten older, he's a little bit better at like wanting to leave a dog park, but yeah, chasing him around, and he's only like 18 pounds and I'm a larger woman chasing a little dog around the park is a little embarrassing.
Yeah,
but he's super sweet.
Yeah, we have a 13-year-old, and we keep saying, "Oh, he's gonna calm down. He's gonna start listening." At one point, he just never did. So
yeah, and that's all on me.
Yeah, and like people will be like, "Oh, he's a puppy, right?" So he'll start behaving some point.
What breed?
He is mini Australian Shepherd
and
Beagle.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, super energetic and just won't listen.
And inquisitive and sniffing everything.
Yes.
Yep.
Very stubborn.
Yeah.
And loud, but he's ours and we love him. So, yeah. So as far as if anything embarrassing you want to share, if you don't have to, whatever your limit of tolerance for sharing is fine.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay a little professional today. So. I haven't burped yet, so that's really good.
There you go.
Well, I was a singer in high school and college, so it's like when you get a singer who burps, it's like really can project.
So what kind of? I'll let you take your sip. So what kind of singer, like music, were you singing?
Well, I grew up in the church singing, the classical stuff,
okay.
And musicals. So I'm a soprano. And even went to summer camp for choir up north in Wolverine, Michigan. So,
yeah, I imagine burping from the choir area of the church would be quite embarrassing. So,
yeah, I didn't burp at church very often. So,
there you go. Even if you did, I mean, what could you do?
The Lord's forgiving, I'm sure.
Exactly. Right. So I guess just. Anything, I guess interesting. You said you've been working at 52 watt for quite a while.
Yeah.
Have you always kind of had the same position, or did you start kind of at the low lowly intern, and now you've achieved the what was it, the director of operations.
Yeah.
So
So I started as a junior editor part-time, and then I went to full-time junior editor, and then became senior editor, and then project manager, and then business development / project manager, and now I am director of operations. So it is a very small company, though. So when you say director of operations, it's not as impressive when you know there's only 4 people. But I'm sort of second in command to the CEO, with hopes of, growing and being in charge of more people over time. But we've been around for 30 years as a company.
oh wow.
Operating mainly again in Grand Rapids, but now one of my coworkers is in Florida, I'm in Detroit, and then the other 2 are still in Grand Rapids.
So do you go like on location and film things, or is
No, I've always, as an editor, been in-house, just behind the computer at home, and they would send other people to film.
yeah, they do that part, and you have to hope that they did everything right and be able
Yeah.
to have enough to put it together.
One time I returned the lights to like where we rented them from, and they're like, "Oh, we were not going to ask you how they were because clearly you're not on set." And I was like, "Oh, is it because I'm too clean cut and like I would have ripped jeans and a t-shirt on?" So
Yeah.
they're like, basically.
That was me when I was in the TV and film industry. I did like the swing gang, and we put sets together, and ahead of the filming crew and behind them, putting them up, taking them down, and
You
then
can roll
also
a cord real well.
yeah, and I did the audio, the boom mic guy for a while too.
Yeah, I did that on the summer
So-
film. You get some good upper body strength.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes it goes on forever, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this like 3-pound pole weighs way more than 3 pounds.
Don't get it in the shot. Although now it's like, who cares? You can push in just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than back when it was on film.
Yep, for sure.
Cool. Well, is there anything else that or you wanted to talk about that we haven't hit on, or?
No, just look for Berkley SBC on Instagram, and on Facebook we're the Berkley Silent Book Club. So join us anytime.
Cool. Thanks. Anything you wanted to ask me? We'll
I
flip
was
it around.
asking questions earlier. I cheated a little bit and asked. But no, I just, what is your biggest hope out of this podcast that you gain from it?
So it was kind of born out of the whole idea. We lived in North Carolina, and we had various friends and different social circles and everything, and with all of the kind of divisive talk that has been around for the last 10, 15 years, it seems like we've kind of drifted away from people that I would consider a good friend, or colleagues that we used to go to birthday parties and stuff like that. And at some point, it just wasn't working anymore, and they were off there doing their thing, and and just kind of ended that. So my hope is to bring, maybe not them because they're far away from me now, but people here, let's say in Berkeley, we'll start with Berkeley, and then if things are able to expand, we'll move out further. But just people in the community be able to, like, I really don't care what my neighbors' political beliefs are. I want them to start showing me who they are as a human. And I think we've been wrapped up so much into politics, and that's become like some people's identities, to where my hope is that we can kind of start breaking that down and getting back to, just, being, walking down the street and saying hi to somebody, and stopping and having a conversation, which Berkeley is pretty great for. We've
Especially
met
if you
a few
have a dog.
people. Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, we have a neighbor on the next block over. We're gonna try to get them on the show too.
Oh, nice.
We just kind of ran into them randomly a few times, and just I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of good people, but this, I don't know if people are just avoiding each other these days to not get into a political conversation.
Keeping everything on the surface too.
Yeah. So my hope is to get back to that. Really, just not where like you could have a conversation with somebody and politics will never even come up because it doesn't matter. Like they're more important.
I should have asked you, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book, it has to be Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut.
And why is that your favorite? I haven't read it, so.
Well, it's a toss up between that and Slaughterhouse-Five. It a lot of it has to do with with that whole. I guess we'll maybe even pivot to Slaughterhouse-Five because it has more to do with, there's he has that famous quote "putuit," which is the sound of a bird that he heard when there was just destruction all around. Is that nature will be fine, and as humans we can kind of learn from nature and not do this to ourselves and just live and not be terrible towards each other.
Awesome.
So
can I ask Zoe what her favorite book is?
sure, if she wants to
No,
answer.
she said no thank you.
I think she wants to be part of the Silent Book Club though.
You would be perfect.
All right, anything else you want to ask? I figured this would be a two-way conversation instead of me just firing away questions.
Oh,
If not, we're good.
Yeah. Well, who's your next guest?
I don't know about next, but we do have the Coffee and Bark people for next month.
Oh, nice.
So if we don't fill the gap in with somebody else, we'll have.
Can you do once a month for now?
I think it's just as often as possible.
Oh, okay.
It's
Gotcha.
just we're really great that we're so happy that you reached out to us. And
Well, you followed me first on Instagram, is how I
she's
found.
the
Yeah,
Instagram
you followed
person.
Silent Book Club, and I went, "Who are these people?"
Oh, cool. So it worked.
It does work.
Yeah. So we hope this will be the first of many cool things to come.
Awesome.
And then we'll just hope.
Well,
it
welcome.
grows.
I know you've been here for a year now, but welcome.
Yeah, August. So
Yeah.
not quite a year, but
Getting there.
well, we're excited to see what a summer in Michigan is like as opposed to North Carolina. We just wanted to get away from the heat and humidity.
Well, we'll see. It won't be as hot, but we do get some humidity. So.
Yeah.
But if you haven't been to West Michigan, Lake Michigan is gorgeous in the summer. So I definitely recommend taking a trip out there.
Yeah, we were there. We drove through it. Right, we wanted to see the beach, so we visited family in Milwaukee for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So it was probably not the best time to go to the beach out there.
Yeah,
We discovered that. We
yeah.
have some good pictures.
Go in July.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you. It's been fun chatting with you and learning something new from you. For more info about Katie's Silent Book Club, we'll be sure to add that info into the episode details for everybody who's listening. So this is Ramshackle United signing off. Let's keep building commonality block by block.